What's going on there, guys, and welcome back to our channel. Maisie Williams has quickly become one of the most famous actresses in the world, and that has resulted in her being a part of the MCU. In this video, we're taking a look at Maisie Williams landing a major MCU role. Number 5. Playing Rain Sinclair. The most iconic role that Maisie Williams has played is that of Arya Stark in the TV show Game of Thrones, but while that might have been her introduction into the acting world, she hasn't stopped just with that. Due to her acting chops in that role, she got the opportunity to play the character of Rain Sinclair in the movie titled The New Mutants. This character has been around in the Marvel comics for a long time, but there wasn't much of a fan base around it. But that was all until Maisie stepped into that role. The main ability that the character of Rain Sinclair possesses in the comics is that she can turn into a wolf. This was adapted in exactly the same way in the movie, but there were a lot of things that went wrong with this film and its release.
Starts to come to terms with her power and use it as a tool. Follow me.
Number 4. Delayed movie. The New Mutants, in essence, was a great idea since the comics had had a great reception in the past. When the movie first started production, everyone was excited to work on it. Even when the movie was shown to test audiences, they ended up loving it. But due to some reasons, the company making the movie decided that it would be a good idea to reshoot much of the movie in order to make it in another style. The initial cut of the movie was great, but the makers wanted the theme to be darker so that it could stand up to some of the other movies that have been released during that time. Doing these reshoots ended up being very bad for the movie because this led to multiple delays. This movie was initially supposed to come out in late 2017 or early 2017, but it got pushed back to such an extent that it ended up releasing in 2020. If you remember that year, you'd know that there was no chance it would have performed well. This is exactly what happened, and in the end, there wasn't that much hype around the movie, but the majority of the fandom was still excited to see Maisie Williams in action. Number 3. Introduction in comics. The New Mutants movie might not have done that well, but when the group first appeared on the scene, there were many people who enjoyed it. The New Mutants were first introduced all the way back in 1982 in the form of a graphic novel. In this novel, it was shown that Rain Sinclair was the first member of the group. This goes to show just how important of a role Maisie Williams had in her hands. In the comic, it was shown that Rain had been running away from a group of people that were after her. She then ended up crossing paths with Moira McTaggart, a character that has already made several appearances in the MCU. It was Moira who saw her shapeshift back into a human, after which she took her in. Rain then met with Professor X, and after her character had been developed a bit more, she got to be a part of a new group. She had a very devastating backstory as well, in which she had never gotten the opportunity to meet her mother. Number 2. Maisie's thoughts on the character. Maisie Williams had reached such a high level of fame that if she didn't want to play this character, she could have just denied the role. But her having played the character shows that she had a fondness and admiration for the character. She expressed these feelings in many of the interviews that she gave while promoting this movie. She said that one of the most interesting aspects of playing this character was that she had very few lines due to the quiet and mysterious nature of her character. This resulted in her being a bit separated from the rest of the cast, but Maisie said that she enjoyed being quiet for long periods of time as she got to learn about herself a lot more in that way.
This isn't a hospital, it's a cage.
Number 1. Introduction of mutants in MCU. Since the New Mutants movie has come out, Fox has been bought by Disney. This means that any characters that have appeared in their movies now have the ability to be a part of the MCU. This has resulted in fans being excited about Maisie reprising the role in the future. Ever since this acquisition by Disney, they've brought a lot of Fox's characters into the MCU, so Maisie appearing as Rain Sinclair in the MCU is not out of the question. Let's just hope that she is given a good story that's really worth of her character. So these were some of the details about Maisie Williams landing a huge role in the MCU. Due to the introduction of the multiverse, the possibilities are truly endless for the MCU and Marvel in general. Well guys, that about wraps up this video. If you enjoyed it, then let us know by smashing that like button, and if you haven't done so already, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell so you don't miss out on future videos going forward. Until next time, do take care, and I'll see you again later. Bye now.